Okay, so I've sourced a Daco timing belt and an NG tensioner. Right, we'll just make sure it is the same. I see that they do give us a brand new. I see they give us a new locking bolt. Okay, there is a locking bolt. We're going to need a size 6 Allen key to tension the tensioner. Okay, so that looks right. We'll just open up the belt here. Okay, so this belt would have yeah, so I would say that's 200 mil, and then it should be 101 teeth. I don't know if we have any reference to the amount of teeth. Yeah, there, 101 teeth. Okay, and 20 mil thickness. Okay, this was made by Gates Power Grip, but for Hyundai. Okay, Daco, pretty good. So what we do is we put the tensioner on first, and then we feed the belt on, make sure all the timing marks line up, and then we'll get the tensioner set the way that it should. Okay. So we'll take the tensioner with a new bolt. Okay, we'll put the tensioner on. Just thread it up nicely. Okay, so we'll just turn it hand tight. Okay, we'll make sure that it just sort of hangs loose like that. In actual fact, we can turn it so that the lesser part shows to the belt, so that we know there's going to be a lot of play there. Okay, so now we will feed the belt in. You know, we'll start the belt out from the crankshaft side. Okay, so this is why, you know, we have that a loose tool, so that we can manipulate the play. Okay, we don't want the belt too tight while we're putting it on. We'll slide the belt on. As you can see, you know, you have the play on the tensioner side. Okay, and then you know, we'll get the belt on properly onto the pulleys. Make sure that the belt goes on all the way. So how to tension the tensioner? Okay, we will basically turn it. Okay, you will see here, or here's an arrow here. Here's an arrow on the tensioner. Okay, that arrow must point opposite a dot. As we turn the tensioner, you will see that dot. Okay, I'm going to tighten it up, and then we can zoom in on the dot there. You can see the arrow, and you can see the dot there, the end of it. Okay, that is where that should show. You know, it's like a little arrow on it there. Okay, and that is where the tension is supposed to be for this car. Okay. Right, once the tension is set, we just make sure that our marks are still lining up. The crank mark is lining up, and we go and look at the cam mark. And remember now that arrow, okay, is showing that the tension is right. Okay, the tension is right there. So let's go to the top. We're going to look at our marks and make sure that they also line up, which they do. We'll turn the crankshaft twice. Okay, we turn it until our mark comes back. Okay, just to make sure that everything is still in place you know, once we've turned it. So that is one. Okay, so we'll go. That's one, it's lining up again. And we go a second one, a second 360. Because remember, the crank will turn twice and the cam will only turn once. Okay, and then we'll check and see if the marks all line up again. And if the marks still line up, then I am convinced that we got our engine timed properly. Okay, so we'll get that to line again. Okay, we got top dead center lining up nicely there. Alright, you can see the marks are lining up. Let's go look up top. Okay, you'll see the cam marks are lining up. Okay. And then we'll put our timing plate on. Okay. We'll just put our pulley on loosely quickly. Temporary like that, and we're going to just start her up quickly. There she runs. Okay, we won't run it for long. Okay, because the thing is we don't have the water pump and things connected. But fine, cam belt is definitely on properly. We switch it off. So now I'll be putting the covers back and the engine mounting, put everything back in its place. So we're just going to now assemble in reverse order. Okay, let me go and do that and I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. Well, while you've got the engine jacked up, you know, because the mounting's not there, we can put the water pump pulley on. There's a cleft in it and there's a protrusion on the pulley. So line those up, you know, so that it lines up nicely. And then all you need to do is put the 4 bolts in. Okay, it's quite easy to do it when the engine's jacked up like this, I'm finding out now. Okay, I've got the top and the bottom covers on already. So now I can just go ahead and I can just put these screws in. I'll give it the final tightening when I have the belts on, you know, the external belts. Tightening once I got the belt. Okay, I thought I'd just give you that tip there quickly. So now we're going to put on our mounting. So we need to lower the engine a little bit. You see, this is the beauty of it. You can manipulate the engine when you've got the mounting off. In position over here now. Okay, we can put all the bolts on now. I'll go ahead and put the bolts on. That's quite simple to understand. And I'll tighten everything up so that we can get the jack out. Okay, because I've still got the jack in my support. Alright, so we got the mounting in. We can actually put back our water bottle over here. Okay, that comes in through there. There's one bolt there and one bolt there. I'll get that done, and then we can put the bulkhead in as well, the light. Okay, it's got one bolt there, one bolt there, and then inside here there's a bolt. Okay, but don't forget about that one there, because I forgot about it and I couldn't get the bulkhead out. I thought there was something wrong, but it's because it's got a third bolt there. Okay, don't forget about that. Okay, so we've got it all running, everything put together. We just put that last piece in there. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few points to remember. Okay, let me just switch it off first. Okay, firstly, don't forget to lock up your crankshaft. Okay, to lock up your crank pulley bolt. Alright, that is by sticking in an old screwdriver or something in the back of the gearbox over here, you know, where your flywheel is. Don't forget to put your inspection plate with the 3 bolts back. Okay, the 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3 bolts. Okay, you put your inspection cover back when you're done with that. And then also your basically protective cover that comes on here, also 4 bolts. Alright, that's at the bottom of the car. Then obviously we can put the wheel on. Just make sure that everything is tight. Okay, all the bolts for the engine mounting. Okay, and once you've got your fan belts on, make sure that you lock up the water pump bolts. Okay, make sure that they are pretty tight. You put back your bulkhead. Make sure you plug your electrics in so that your light works. And then there is 1, 2, and then 3. You will see here's a bolt under this pipe over here. Okay, there's a bolt there. Don't forget that bolt. Okay, especially when you have to take it out. You don't have to remove the airbox, as you can see. You just need to remove the airbox inlet. Alright, so that's basically it. You know, that is how we do an i10 cam belt. Look, it's not one of the easiest to do because of the restricted space. You know what I mean? But bar taking the engine out, the way I showed you now, is probably the simplest way. You know, just make sure that your timing marks line up properly. Do your double check. Once you got your new belt on and you've tensioned up, you've set the tensioner like I showed you. Turn 2 revolutions on the crankshaft. Okay, 2 full revolutions. That will give you 1 full revolution on the cam, and see if your marks line up again. If your marks all line up, then you're good to go. You know, and don't forget to put back the strike plate. You know, that goes onto the crankshaft. That activates your crank sensor. Alright, very important. But other than that, it's a straightforward job. It's just a little time consuming because of the restricted space. Alright. Okay, so those are the old replaced parts. You know, when you roll this bearing is still very quiet and smooth and silent. Okay, but are you willing to take a chance? Okay, and then of course the belt still looks fairly good. But this car has just gone over 100,000. In actual fact, it's 120,000 Ks. So, you know, the belt is still looking good. Okay, but you can also never tell. Because, I mean, when you turn it upside down like this, you can see there's a bit of stress marks, you know, on the rubber itself. So I always say that if you don't know when your cam belt's been replaced, especially if you bought a second-hand car, the best thing to do is just to replace the belt at your convenience, so that you know now you can keep record. Every 100,000 Ks, you replace the cam belt. Okay.